first one's free, the second one's really cheap, the third one is not as cheap, and then they get gradually more expensive. So the bigger item you want, the more you have to, the image you want, the more you have to pay for it. You can also trade all of the cash out items with other players. So if you don't have the money, but you have the time, you have a lot of in-game goals, and vice versa, you can trade. This one has an ad. So yeah, very pet oriented. It's actually also something that I wanted to mention is it's a very user-friendly game. So if you haven't had the experience to play 100 or 10 or even 5 other MMOs before in your life, like you start the game and you constantly have these question marks telling you what to do or how to do it. This one tells me it's the very first help actually that you get. If you press F1, you get an interface help, which is actually quite extensive, and most games don't really have it.
You can change almost everything.
This just tells you what you can do actually, but you can change all information. If I, for example, click on this monster here and then I press F1, then this tells me it's the name, it's how much life, how much mana, and so it's basically, if you've never played an MMO in your life, this game will explain you everything that you need to know. And also from the tutorial island onwards, all the text, one shows up here in the chat, but also it's spoken text, and we actually went through the extra mile to actually translate the spoken text as well. So actually you can't hear it right now because A, it's really loud out there and the speaker's not very good, but it actually speaks to me in German, telling me all the information on the screen, which is optional for the ones that I can read anyway, but sometimes I get information only in the display on the chat. And if you're in the middle of the battle, you don't see it.
Also in French and English.
Sorry?
Also in French and English.
The text.
Yes, the voice help.
Yeah, we have it in German and in French because we only publish it in German and French. The original voiceovers are in Korean, and it is up to the American publisher Galanet if they want to translate it or not. I'm not sure, since they haven't launched yet, I'm not sure if they have made this. We are, however, in contact with them as well, so because this time around we have most of the publishing rights around the globe. There's only 1 or 2 areas in Asia that we don't have the license for. We want to exchange a lot of information, a lot of the feedback that we receive from players as well. So we meet once a week, twice a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks, depending on the workload, to exchange our, for one, the pricing strategy, for example, or the balancing issues that we find, and then we exchange that information, which gives us a lot more insight. As for one, we may find that's a huge problem, but the Americans may find it's not a big deal, they can do this, this, and this. But okay, that's information that we didn't have, we can pass it on to our community. So there's a lot more information exchange that previously we didn't have. So far, I find it really good. Because again, just, in the end, the user is supposed to have the best of the game. If we can save ourselves time to actually find all these problems and then exchange them with each other, it saves them a lot of time for QAing of the game, etc.
It's a common problem after all.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, for example, one of the problems is right now that while you have these healing items in the game, you don't get enough of them. So you have to do repeat quests in order to get more of them. My take on it is, it may well be that players aren't really used to this sort of game and fight monsters that are too strong. So you constantly, after every single fight, they have to regenerate. So maybe they're just fighting monsters that are 1 or 2 levels too high. It's possible, but also we might be, well, we gave this feedback already, and they might do some balancing on the actual how much is the healing amount or how much damage does a monster do compared to your level. So Noria have actually been really good for the feedback that we've given them. The turnaround time for what they apply into the game, for example, this in-game clock. We've had the feedback from the game community. It would be good to have that, just to not get completely lost in time, or also for events that start at a particular times. It would be good that I don't constantly have to, where do I look? Because a lot of players, the only time that they use is their computer clock. So we asked for that last week, we got it this week. So the turnaround time of actually implementing suggestions is really good. Also, fixing problems are very, very quick to fix it, which I have to say is not necessarily always the case with developers. I've worked with 3 different developers in my life so far, and they're very different. If they see me,
I think it's all on the screen. You got put the hell on the screen. Yeah.
Okay. Just want to show one more thing over here. Do you have? If you have any particular questions, just shoot. Right. Don't hold back.
Have a couple. We'll let you finish.
Well, I'm really just, I've pretty much shown you the most important things right now. There's like dueling PvP, there will be Drop 5 versus 5 Battleground PvP. We haven't activated it yet because we want to get more people to a certain level before we actually start it. Then there will also be guild PvP. Again, we haven't started it yet. We did have it in the closed beta test. Now that we're in open beta, we want guilds to level up first and gather some members. Now we're in the jungle. So as you can, there is still a few things that aren't actually translated yet. For example, the channel is still the same channel instead of the German word for channel, but overall it's actually quite good. I'm very happy with the quality of the translation as well, which we have done by a third party, which a little bit more money in the development stage, but the quality is amazing. That's absolutely. I personally find it very important. And feedback from the community has been good as well. On that, for guild PvP, that was the map I showed earlier. Basically, once a week, guilds can fight over the domination of one particular area. And once they dominate that area, they can actually claim taxes on that area.
Politics.
Exactly. So then there's a minimum of 5% anyway. So every drop and every loot and any gold that is dropped in that area for that week, they get 5% off. And they can also claim higher taxes. But as you can imagine, in a closed beta test with a small publishing team that we are as a free-to-play publisher, we have not been able to test it properly yet. So we're setting up an event and really want players to give us as much possible feedback because we don't have the manpower to test this. And for guild PvP in particular, you can actually need at least 30, 40, 50 people participating. We have maybe 10. That we might get 15, 20, but that's not really enough to do with in-depth testing.
Yeah.
So we rely on the community, and the community is actually being really good so far in 2 weeks in open beta test, which means really everybody can play now. Which for some reason it doesn't seem to come across. People still ask me, so how can I access the game? It's like, no, just go there, you just download, you just start playing.
Do I need a key?
Yeah, exactly. Because we had been such a long preparation time for the closed beta test, I think now they're all very kind of worried, not really sure what to do.
Do you have a release date?
For life?
Yeah, for life.
No, not really yet. We were planning for about 1 month of open beta test, but since we have opened the shop already yet, a lot earlier than it was initially planned, because actually players asked for it and the developer was pushy about it as well. We opened it earlier than previously planned. So for the player, the change from open beta to live will not be big. They won't really notice. It's really just a matter of now we call it live service. And there will be certainly a certain expectation from the player that the game is now polished and perfect. Well, maybe a month, but it depends on the American publisher as well. They have just decided to delay their open beta test because there was content missing in their opinion that needs to be added first. Also based on our feedback, that we said like there is certain areas in the game, there's problems, the leveling gets slower, the quests get scarce, there needs to be more content added. So late night, delayed slightly, and we're looking to see. Really, I'm aiming for a month. So it started last week or the week before, so there would be meaning in 2 weeks. I'm not sure if I'm going to be ready for it, calling it live service in 2 weeks' time. But that is the plan. But around that time, it's also when Brazil will be launching their game, so we have to coordinate with the other publishers to see when exactly we do that. So yeah, I think I've talked you through most of this now. Did I show you that you can change the guild settings for the different ranks? So yeah, if you have other questions, please shoot now.
Yeah, about the in-game shop.
Yes.
I don't know how it are called your coins.
G-potato.
G-potato.
Yeah.
G-potatoes.
Yeah, G-potatoes. Yeah, the
so
G can be stand for gaming, gold, whatever you want.
yeah, nice. So are those coins like shared across all your games?
Yes,
so
they
you
are.
buy them.
Yes. You top up your account, not for your game.
And the second question is, when you get a mount there, it's like shared for
Yeah.
When you get a mount in the in-game shop,
Yes.
it's shared across all your characters. You have to buy a mount for each character you have.
I think
In some games it works in a way, in others it works.
the moment you use it for the first time, it's bound to your character. Right?
So it's like an in-game item for that specific character.
I think so. I'm actually not sure if there is a vault that you can share across characters. I don't think there is. That is something that I might actually suggest, in particular for cash-up items. For some of our games, cash-up items can be shared, whereas regular items can be shared across characters. If it isn't the case, I'll definitely suggest it, because I think it might be well perceived.
Yeah, with the great example, you can enjoy it with all your parts.
Yeah, exactly. I'll definitely actually take it. I think currently it's not the case.
And that's all.
Any more questions? No? Okay. In which case, thank you very much. I already have the next person waiting outside.
Yeah.
So today, Thursday is very packed, one after the other.